Hi all, my name is Ty LENBERG. I'm a senior here at St. Mary's. I was doing an independent study for Professor Emhoff and Professor Pollack. The title of my study is Muscle Damage After Eccentric Loading for Female Athletes. To start, what is an eccentric? An eccentric is when the muscle is lengthening while producing force. How do we use that? There are two common ways to use that in the research studies. One is downhill running, when you're at a 10% decline, running at 70% of your VO2 max for roughly about 90 minutes. Another way to use the eccentric is with resistance training. You can use a machine called an isokinetic dynamometer. What that machine is going to do is it's going to set a speed as you use the eccentric. As you lengthen that muscle, it's going to put force against you, and then it's going to release, and you can have an unrestricted concentric motion. Typically with that, you're going to use 6 sets of 10 repetitions. That's a lot of volume, and it's going to leave a lot of people really sore. That leads me to my next point. DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. That's going to be the pain that you feel after a workout, typically 24 to 72 hours as the inflammation response to training. Next point, we got muscle damage markers. One of those muscle damage markers is a blood biomarker. In some of our studies, they're taking blood samples, and they're able to measure that creatine kinase that we threw up an image there, and that's going to measure how much muscle damage you have. Not every study is going to be able to take blood samples, as those are expensive. So another way to measure that in a cost-effective manner is a visual analog scale. On the visual analog scale, you have no pain on one side, worst possible pain on the other, and you're able to mark the pain wherever the subject may feel it after their training. That leads us to what have we seen in the studies. Currently, we have a 2019 study from the University of North Carolina. That found a difference at the 24-hour and 72-hour post-training effect. So that found that the creatine kinase, the muscle damage blood biomarker, was significantly higher in the mid-follicular, mid-follicular phase than the mid-luteal phase. So what that means is for the female athletes during their low estrogen and low progesterone period had significantly more muscle damage than the female athletes with the high estrogen and the high progesterone period. So that we do see that high estrogen and high progesterone come into play with a protective mechanism for the skeletal muscle. Contrary, we have a 2022 study from Denmark that have found that there was no correlation between muscle damage and the fluctuation in sex hormones. In conclusion, there are still gaps in the literature. We don't have enough information. We need more research. Female athletes deserve to know if their sex hormones fluctuating affects their training. Thank you.